Good day everyone. On today's tutorial, I will be treating 50 multiple choice questions under the upper limb. Do your best to stay with me till the end. Let us begin. Okay, our first question for today, number 1, says which structure forms the most lateral point from the shoulder? A. Clavicle, B. Humerus, C. Acromion, D. Scapula. All these are all bones. So which of them form the most lateral point from the shoulder? But now you have gotten your answer. So what do you think the correct answer is? The correct answer for this question is the acromion, which is C. Yeah, this is the acromion. This is the posterior region of the scapula. This is the acromion. You can easily palpate it by yourself, just simply putting your hand on the lateral side of your shoulder. Our next question goes like this. The joint capsule of the acromioclavicular joint is strengthened superiorly by dash. A. Abdominis rectus, B. Cubital fossa, C. Fibers of rhomboid major, D. Fibers of trapezius muscle. So what do you think is the answer? What do you think is the answer? What do you think is the answer? By now you should have gotten your answer. First, A is not the answer. Abdominis rectus, that's A. Abdominis rectus is a muscle found in the abdomen, so it cannot be in the clavicular region. This abdominis rectus is what people call six packs. B. Cubital fossa. No, the cubital fossa is at the elbow region, so B cannot be the answer. Now C. Rhomboid muscle. Now this rhomboid muscle is found posteriorly on top the spinal region. It is close, but it is not the answer. Our correct answer for today is fibers of the trapezius. So I hope you got the answer. Moving on to the next question. Yes, before I continue, this is the acromioclavicular joint is formed here. As the word say, is the acromion, is formed from the acromion and the clavicle. When they come together, they form the acromioclavicular joint. It's a very strong joint. It helps to elevate the shoulder. Number 3, which of the following is not a rotator cuff muscle? A. Teres major, B. Supraspinatus, C. Subscapularis, D. Infraspinatus. Which of the following is not a rotator cuff muscle? So let us start with what we know and what we are sure of. We know that the infraspinatus is a rotator cuff muscle, so this is not the answer. We know that supraspinatus is a rotator cuff muscle, so B is not the answer. We are left with A and C. Between A and C, the correct answer is teres major. Teres major is not among the rotator cuff muscle. It is teres minor. Do not mistake them. So teres minor is among the rotator cuff muscles, while teres major is not. They are also known as the rotator cuff muscle, also known as the sit muscle. The first S stands for supraspinatus, the I stands for infraspinatus, the T, the teres minor, the S, the subscapularis. Number 4, the term ankylosing means dash. A. Elongation of bone, B. Stiffening of bone, C. Elongation of muscle, D. Stiffening of muscle. Okay, very straightforward question. The right answer to this question is B. Stiffening of muscle. Number 5, which nerve supplies the which nerve supplies the biceps brachii? The biceps brachii, that's a large muscle on your anterior arm. A. Radial nerve, B. ulnar nerve, C. Musculocutaneous nerve, D. Posterior brachial plexus fibers. Which of the following supply the biceps brachii? The correct answer for this is C. The musculocutaneous. The radial nerve supplies the tricep brachii, that is the posterior muscle of the arm. The ulnar nerve supplies the flexor carpal radialis. Sorry, flexor carpal ulnaris. That is the flexor carpal ulnaris. It's denoted by this. Okay, next question we have now. Okay, this is the biceps brachii. Is a large muscle. It's a large muscle. So most time when people tell you to flex your muscle, this is what you are flexing. Remember, to flex means to reduce the angle. To extend means to increase the angle. So the bicep brachii has two heads. See, one head and the other. This is the short head. This is the long head. They have different origin points, to note that, and they are innervated by the musculocutaneous nerve. Next question. Which nerve supplies the subclavius muscle? A. Nerve to subclavius. B. The long thoracic nerve. C. The radial nerve. D. The medial nerve. So what do you think is the answer? What do you think is the answer to this question? The right answer, which is so obvious, is A. Nerve to the subclavius. Yes, if you look here, you see a particular muscle that was outlined here. Yes, here. Yes, that better. Outline here. Now that is the subclavius muscle. Is found beneath the clavicle. This is the clavicle. The one, the right side on the left side. This red muscle is the subclavius. And the subclavius, as the word says, clavius means clavicle, sub means under. So it is the muscle found under the clavicle. Remember, subclavius is the muscle found under the clavicle. The next question we have today. Winging of the scapula is due to paralysis of dash. A. Trapezius muscle. B. Rhomboid muscle. C. Pectoralis muscle. D. Serratus anterior. Which winging of the scapula is due to paralysis of dash? The right answer to this is the serratus anterior muscle. Let me use an appropriate color so you know what I'm saying. The serratus anterior muscle. Yeah. So the next. Now, this is how the winged scapula looks like. Now, this is where your scapula is found normally. Yeah. Now, this one that you see here is the winged scapula. You see, it is projecting out of the shoulder even when you raise your hand. When you raise your hand, it's meant to go inside, but now it is projecting because the muscle that is meant to keep it in place is now paralyzed, so it moves kind of freely. It is now protruding from the skin. Our next question goes like this. Which nerve supplies the pectoralis major? A. Medial pectoral nerve only. B. Lateral and medial pectoral nerve only. C. Radial nerve only. D. Suprascapular nerve only. Which nerve supplies the pectoralis major? So what is the answer? What is the answer? What do you think is the answer? What do you think is the answer? This question won't take you more than 5 seconds to answer. Yeah, the right answer to this is B. Lateral and medial pectoral nerve only. The medial pectoral nerve only innervates the pectoralis minor. The radial nerve, which is this, innervates the triceps. The suprascapular nerve innervates the infraspinatus, and the supraspinatus of the scapula. Moving on, yes, this is the muscle. The pectoralis major is a very large and flat muscle. It is bilateral on both sides. Okay, moving on. Number 9. What is the innervation of the levator scapulae? What is the innervation of the levator scapulae? A. Spinal accessory nerve. B. The dorsal scapular nerve. C. The long thoracic nerve. D. Medial pectoral nerve. What is the innervation of the levator scapulae? The right answer to this question is, if you haven't gotten it, you're late, is B. The dorsal scapular nerve. Moving on. Number 10. Which part of the deltoid muscle abducts the arm? You know, the deltoid muscle has 3 parts. Don't know now. Which part of the deltoid muscle abducts the arm? A. Clavicular part. B. Acromial part. C. Posterior part. D. Inferior fibers or inferior part. So the right answer to this question is B. The acromial part. It has so the 3 parts of the deltoid are the clavicular part, the acromial part, and the posterior part. So note it because of your theory exams during your MB, your first MB to be precise. Which muscle is usually missing in Poland syndrome? This is a clinical case. Which muscle is usually missing in Poland syndrome? A. Biceps brachii. B. Pectoral muscle. C. Infraspinatus. B. Intercostal muscle. Which muscle is usually missing in Poland syndrome? Which muscle is usually missing in Poland syndrome? So what do you think is the answer? What do you think is the answer? The answer to this question is B. The pectoral muscles are usually missing. In the males, the chest will be flat, while in the females, a breast might be missing. 1 or 2 breasts might be missing. So this is how it looks like. You see, the one on this side looks like the normal chest, but this one, the pectoral major muscle, most likely the pectoral major muscle, is missing. You see, it's a term called agenesis. Agenesis. Yeah. The pectoral muscle for this part did not develop, while this one developed. But in some cases, you might see whereby boots are missing. But in this case that I have here, only the one on this side is missing. Number 12. What is the clinical importance of the triangle of accostation? What is the clinical importance of the triangle of accostation? Number 12. A. Protect the internal organs. B. For the examination of the lung. C. As a passageway for the sacral plexus. D. It is a tendon. Triangle of accostation. Yeah. What's the answer? So the answer to this one is B. For the examination of the lung. Sorry, and I will explain what it means. Now, have you ever seen when your doctor is doing this to you and he places his stethoscope at this particular region? Now, at that particular region, that's where you find the triangle of accostation. Now, that particular region, there's some kind of vacuum or a gap or a space. So it allows sound waves to echo in that area. So as your lung is breathing and breathing out, the doctor can examine and see how healthy your lungs are. So note that, not forget that. Number 13. Which nerve supplies the latissimus dorsi. Latissimus dorsi. A. Intercostal nerve. B. Thoracodorsal nerve. C. Subscapular nerve. D. dorsoscapular nerve. Which nerve supplies the latissimus dorsi or dorsi? So what do you think is the answer? What do you think is the answer? Hope you're still following me. What do you think is the answer? Okay. The answer to this question is the thoracodorsal nerve. Yeah, I'm sure many people got the answer. If you did not, note them now. But 14. Paralysis of the rhomboid major is due to damage of dash. Remember, paralysis of muscle usually occur or only occur when the nerve which innervates them or supplies them gets compressed, damaged, or severed. Severed means it got cut off. So the first we have here is the long thoracic nerve, B the medial nerve, C the dorsal scapular nerve, D the upper subscapular nerve. So which of them causes paralysis of the rhomboid muscle? And the answer to this question is C, the dorsal scapular nerve. The rhomboid muscle is one of the muscles of the scapula, and notice all the muscles of the scapula, most of them have the term scapula attached to their nerve, except for the teres major, the teres minor, and the trapezius muscle, which I will teach you. So these are the rhomboid muscle here at this side. Look at this side. Yeah. The small one up here is the teres minor, while the bigger one down here is the teres major. So note that. So they are by the dorsal scapular nerve. Okay. But 15. The apex of the axilla is formed by dash. A. Inguinal canal. B. The subcutaneous skin. C. Cervicoaxillary canal. D. Axillary fold. The apex of the axilla is formed by what? So the answer to this question is C, the cervicoaxillary canal. Okay, I don't really have any diagram here to explain to you, but just try and imagine this now. Okay, first thing you know, what is the axilla? The axilla, in a layman's sense, is the armpit. Now, if you look at your body from a posterior view, from upward, yes, the gap between your clavicle and your scapula, you see, your hand can palpate there. You can feel a particular depth here. Can you feel the depth here? That depth that looks something like this. It looks something like this. This is the in front. This is the clavicle. While behind, this is the scapula. Now, this depth, this place that you see here. Now, this place is this cervical axillary canal. So, follow me. Number 16. Identify the incorrect innervation. So look at it. What do you think is incorrect innervation? Is it A, B, C, D, or E? Okay. Okay. So what's the answer? Okay. So I think we're now good answer. Number 1, it says the muscle subclavius own nerve from the brachial plexus. What does it mean? If you look at the brachial plexus, or here we call the brachial plexus, you know one of the nerve that shows there is the subclavius. So that's what they mean here. So A is not the answer. A is correct, but not the answer in this case. B, serratus anterior, long thoracic. Yes, the serratus anterior is entered by the long thoracic nerve. So this is not the answer. So C, clavicular head of the pectoral major, the root medial pectoral nerve. Yes, it is correct, but this is not the answer. D, latissimus dorsi. Remember the dorsal scapular nerve? No, this is wrong. So this will be the answer. The trapezius is yes, this is correct. So the answer here is the latissimus dorsi. Latissimus dorsi, it is not innervated by the dorsal scapular nerve. 17. The musculocutaneous nerve passes through the following muscle except 17. The coracobrachialis, the short head of biceps, the brachialis, the medial head of triceps, the long head of the biceps. So which of the following nerve? So what do you think is the answer? What do you think is the answer to this question? Okay, now the right answer here is D. Why? Why? Let me explain. The musculocutaneous nerve, yes, the musculocutaneous nerve is the major nerve which innervates the muscle of the anterior arm. So obviously it passes through all of them. So the coracobrachialis is an anterior, therefore not the answer. Biceps, it passes, it's not the answer. Brachialis passes, is not the answer. Okay, bicep, that's not the answer. You get it. So the anterior muscles of the arm are A, B, C, and E. So that's why not the answer. The right answer to this is D, the medial head of triceps. Number 10. What structure does not pierce this cervico-pectoral fascia? What structure does not pierce the cervicopectoral fascia? Okay. A, they said cephalic vein. B, lymphatic. C, lateral thoracic artery. D, lateral pectoral nerve. E, thoracoacromial artery. So what is the answer? What is the answer? What is the answer? Okay, let us go through this first. Now we know that the cephalic vein passes through it. That is done. We know that obviously some lymphatics will pass through. That is done also. And I'm sure the lateral pectoral nerve passes through it, so that the thoracoacromial artery passes through it. So the right answer is C. C does not pass through. So C is the answer in this question. So moving on, please make sure you're noting the answers and the question. You might have to go through them again and again to gain the knowledge fully. Do not miss out. Number 19. Which artery is the main supply of the triceps? Remember I told you the triceps is the muscle at the posterior region of the arm. Yes. So A, they said dorsal scapular artery. B, brachial artery. C, profunda brachial artery. D, radial artery. E, posterior circumflex humeral artery. So the answer to this question is I hope you've gotten your answer. Answer to this question is C, profunda brachial artery. Let's continue. Injury of dash nerve causes wrist drop. A, medial nerve. B, ulnar nerve. C, radial nerve. D, popliteal nerve. So what's the answer? The right answer to this question is C, radial nerve. So the radial nerve injury to it causes wrist drop. Now, sorry for that mistake. Where? Yes, we're here. So this is how the wrist drop looks like. So, what that nerve does, what the radial nerve does, that it helps the muscle to extend. So your hand is not, now when I say extend, this is how your hand will be if it was extended, something like this. Yeah. So the angle will increase. Be at the angle will increase at an angle of 180. But in this case, it is unable to extend. It is not flexing in a way, so it's not able to go back up. Get what I'm saying? I'm trying to use geometry to explain to you what is really going on here. So let me say it again. So this is it now. It is like this. It is flexing instead of extending like this now, because what? Because the radial nerve was damaged, so the wrist has dropped. It is acting downwards. Moving on. 21. Injury of dash nerve causes ape hand. A, the medial nerve. B, the ulnar nerve. C, the radial nerve. D, the popliteal nerve. What's the answer? What do you think is the answer? Yeah, the right answer to this question is A, the medial nerve. Yeah, this is the ape hand. If you look at this hand, this one looks a little bit normal, but when you come here, you see there's a particular wasting of muscle around this area. Why? Because it has lost paralysis here. So the hand are not like they are somehow superimposed in a way. The muscles here, the tender muscles, have lost they are wasting away. Now when they say a muscle waste away, what it means is that due to lack of use, the mass of the muscle is beginning to reduce, is dying away, and as time goes by, it's possible theoretically to lose the muscle entirely. Number 22, injury of dash nerve causes the claw hand. A, is it the medial nerve? B, the ulnar nerve? C, the radial nerve? D, the popliteal nerve? So the right answer here is the ulnar nerve. Moving on. So as you can see, it is clear explanation. You see the hand is forming some kind of claws, some kind of claws. You can see. So if you sit in anybody, just know that they are experiencing what they call the claw hand, because their ulnar nerve was damaged at some particular region or position. Now, the claw hand is also referred to as A, hand neuropathy, B, intrinsic minus hand, C, extrinsic minus hand, D, ulnar arthrosis. The right answer to this question is intrinsic minus hand. 24. Which nerve supplies the muscle on the lateral 1.5 fingers? A, the ulnar nerve. B, the medial nerve. C, the radial nerve. D, the medial pectoral nerve. So what's the answer? The right answer, let me give some time to get your answer while I draw a diagram here for you. Okay. Not so fine, but do the job. Good job. Okay, now I don't really like how the diagram looks, so I'm not going to take it off. So the right answer here for this question is A, is the ulnar nerve. So let me draw your right hand. This is your pinky, your next one, middle finger, this one, then your thumb. Yeah. Now, so this is the medial direction. No, this is the lateral direction. There seems to be a mistake here. Okay, there seems to be a mistake here in this question. I think the right question should be the medial 1.5. Yeah, this should be a medial 1.5. Yeah, the medial 1.5. The answer will be the ulnar nerve. Sorry for that mistake. Don't happen again. 25. In hand of benediction, which finger gets closed when trying to close your fist? A, the fourth and fifth. B, the first, second, and third. C, the second, the third. D, the fifth finger only. Okay, hand of benediction. So what do you think is the answer? The right answer to this question is A, the fourth and the fifth. This is how it looks like. This is your first finger, second, third, fourth. This is the fourth finger. This is the fifth. So when you try to clench your hand, this ones do not close because they have lost their innervation. Most of the other support, but the fourth and the fifth will close. Sometimes partially, sometimes it will be now. The reason why it is called the hand of benediction because it looks like the way if you see a Catholic priest when he waves his hand to the congregation, people in the church. That's how it looks. That's how they call it the hand of benediction. So that's the reason. So moving on. 26. The glandular cavity articulate with the head of the humerus by a dash. By what kind of articulation? Look at the options. What do you think is the answer? I think is the answer. What do you think is the answer? Is it fibrous articulation, cartilaginous articulation, plain synovial articulation, ball and socket synovial articulation, hinge synovial articulation? What do you think is the answer? So the right answer is D, ball and socket synovial articulation. That was quite simple because the joint between the gland cavity and the humerus, the ball and socket joint. The ball from the humerus, the socket from the glandular cavity. Moving on. 25. The surgical neck of the humerus is related to the dash. The radial nerve, the axillary nerve, the ulnar nerve, the medial nerve. E, none of the above. So what do you think is the answer? Let's move. I have a lot to do. The right answer here is the axillary nerve. If you in this case diagram, if you look at the humerus like this, yes, the axillary nerve runs across like this. So in case the humerus get fractured in any way, it will affect the nerve. So if the nerve gets severed, any muscle that the nerve is supplying gets paralysis. So this is how it looks like. I just drew. The nerve is here. It's close to the surgical neck. The humerus has two necks: the surgical neck and the anatomical neck. So you can call it the A neck. Yep. And here is the S neck. Yeah. Verse 28. The axilla contains all the following except A. Axillary artery, B. Axillary vein, B. Trunk of the brachial plexus, D. Fat, E. Tail of the breast. So what is the answer? The right answer here is the trunk of the brachial plexus. See, 29. The earliest bone to ossify, what they are saying that which is the first bone to start ossification is A. Humerus, B. Radius, C. The ulnar bone, D. The clavicle bone, E. The femur bone. The right answer to this question. This is a very common question that you need to know. If you ever say it in your exam, it's a bonus question for you. The right answer is the clavicle. The clavicle is the first bone to ossify and the last bone to complete ossification, and this happens at the age of 25 to 30 years in most individuals. Number 30. In Erb's paralysis, the deformity is called winking of the scapula, B. claw hand, C. ape hand, D. wrist drop, E. polystyp position. The right answer to this is the polystyp position. 31. The suprascapular nerve is a branch of the dash. A. Roots of the brachial plexus, B. upper trunk, C. medial trunk, D. posterior cord, E. lateral cord. So what is the answer? The right answer here is the upper trunk. Yeah, this is how the brachial plexus looks like. These are the roots. C5, C6, C7. C1, C2, and the rest. So the brachial plexus, it runs under. It runs under the clavicle. Under the clavicle, it has three trunks and two cords, and it runs downwards. It innervates the entire. It provides information for the entire muscles of the upper arm. The word plexus means a network of nerves. It's not a 32. The trapezius muscle is supplied by the dash. I believe we have seen something like this before. A, cranial accessory nerve. B, spinal accessory nerve. C, long thoracic nerve. D, dorsoscapular nerve. E, thoracodorsal nerve. So, what's the answer? Okay, we know that the thoracodorsal nerve innervates the latissimus dorsal. No, the dorsoscapular nerve innervates the which muscle is that? Maybe I think the rhomboid muscles. Yes, the rhomboid muscles. Not this. The long thoracic nerve innervates the thoracic anterior. So we are left with A and B, which are very close answers, but the right answer is B, the spinal accessory nerve. 33. Paralysis of the deltoid muscle causes what? I'll give some time to read through this question and tell me your answer. So, what is your answer? What do you think is the answer? Just tell me what your answer is. Okay, yes. You are very, very correct. The right answer is B. Loss of abduction of the arm from 15 to 90 degrees. The answer would have been A if they have asked for the supraspinous muscle. The supraspinous muscle is the muscle that carries out abduction to 15 degrees. Remember that. 34. Lesion of the axillary nerve causes A, winging of the scapula. B, flat shoulder. C, claw hand. D, ape hand. E, wrist drop. So what's the answer? The right answer to this question, as for A, we know that A is long thoracic, so it cannot be A. D is by the radial, so no. The ape hand is by, I think ape hand should be by the ulnar nerve, and the claw by the median nerve. So there no. The right answer is the flat shoulder. Why? Because the axillary nerve innervates the deltoid muscle. Yeah, that large chunk of muscle found lateral, which you call your shoulder, which most people call their shoulder, is actually the deltoid muscle. Number 35. As a result of injury to the ulnar nerve at the wrist, marked wasting, which is atrophy of the terminal eminence. B, thumb cannot be abducted. C, thumb cannot be adducted. D, lost association by the thumb. E, A and B are correct. What's the answer? What do you think is the answer? So the right answer to this question is C. The thumb cannot be adducted. What it means is that the muscle carrying out the thumb, which is the pollicis carrying out the thumb adduction, are innervated by the ulnar nerve. Number 36. The following muscles are innervated by the medial nerve except what's the answer? What do you think is the answer? Is the pronator teres, the pronator crustatus, the flexor pollicis longus, the opponent's pollicis, the adductor pollicis? The right answer to this question is E, the adductor pollicis. It is not connected by the medial nerve. So everybody else by the medial nerve. Okay, method 7. Which of the following muscles is being supplied by the radial nerve? By the radial nerve, what's the answer? 37. It's being supplied by the radial. The right answer to this question is B, with the brachialis muscle. Now, the brachialis muscle has two innervations. The main innervation is the musculocutaneous nerve, just like other anterior arm muscles, but it also has some little communication or supply from the radial nerve. So the answer is B, the brachialis. A is from the musculocutaneous, C is from the nerve to the subclavius, D is from the medial nerve, and the rest. 38. The second and third extensor compartments of the wrist are separated from each other by a dash. The second and third extensor compartment of the wrist are separated from each other by a dash. A. Tibia tubercle. First, know that the answer cannot be A because the tibia is at the leg region. We are the upper limb, so A is definitely not the answer. So you are left with B, C, D, and E. So A is definitely not the answer. So note this term if you want to get the answer. So the right answer to this question is the Lister tubercle. 39. Dash is formed by the union of the brachial veins and the basilic vein. A. The brachial vein. B. The portal vein. C. The subclavian vein. D. The suprascapular vein. E. The axillary vein. And the right answer to this question is E. The axillary vein. Number 40, we're close, we're almost done. Stay with me. Number 40, which of the following is not an axillary lymph node? Which of the following is not an axillary lymph node? Number 40. Yeah, we have 5 axillary lymph nodes. We know some, so the right answer, which is wrong, which is not an axillary lymph node, is B, the superior node. There's nothing like superior node in the axillary lymph node. 41. The mammary gland is modified. The mammary gland is what is also called known as the breast. The mammary gland is a modified dash endocrine gland. B, sweat gland. C, mucous gland. D, digestive gland. So what's the answer? What's the answer? The answer here is sweat gland. 41B. Sweat gland. 42. Which nerve supplies the serratus anterior? We have gone through this before. A, the axillary nerve from the C5 and C6 roots. B, the long thoracic nerve from the C5, C6, C7 roots. C, the musculocutaneous nerve from the C5, C6 roots. D, the thoracodorsal nerve from the C6, C7, C8 roots. E, the suprascapular nerve from the C5, C6 roots. So the right answer, the nerve which innervates the serratus anterior, is the long thoracic nerve. Number 43. Which structure does not insert into the flexor retinaculum? Which structure does not insert into the flexor retinaculum? Look at the answers and tell me what you think the answer is. Okay. So the right answer here is C, palmaris longus. Now, let me tell you what this actually is. The flexor retinaculum. Let me give you a little diagram if I can. Now, when you look at your upper limb, the region between your hand and your forearm, this region around here, which this is your thumb, this is the fingers, yes. Now this is your forearm. Now there's a band here called the flexor retinaculum. What it does is that it holds all the tendons, the muscle tendon, it holds them in place tightly. So that's what it does. So all they're asking is that which muscle tendon does not go under this flexor retinaculum or is not found anywhere close to it. Okay. 44. Which nerve does not make contact with periosteum? Which nerve does not make contact with the periosteum? 44. A. Radial nerve. B. The axillary nerve. C. The medial nerve. D. The ulnar nerve. E. The anterior interosseous nerve. The right answer to this question is C. C. The medial nerve doesn't make contact with it. Number 45. The nerve supply to the deltoid is from the dash. I believe I've done it before. The pectoral nerve, which are the medial and the lateral pectoral nerve, they innervate the pectoral muscle, which are the pectoral major muscle and pectoral minor muscle. So it's not this. The thoracodorsal nerve, no, this muscle innervates latissimus dorsi, so it is not. The long thoracic nerve, which I've seen like 3 or 4 times tonight, it innervates the serratus anterior. The dorsal scapular nerve innervates the rhomboid nerve. So the right answer here is C, the axillary nerve. Remember what I said. 46. Which of the following is not a direct attachment of the pectoral girdle to the trunk? So when you look at the human body, you have 2 types of girdle, or mainly 2 girdle: the pectoral girdle and the pelvic girdle. The pectoral girdle is round, is one that is made up of the scapula and the clavicle, while the pelvic girdle is made up of the pelvic bone, the hip bone, and all these epiphyses around that area. So what's the answer? 46. Is it pectoralis major, pectoralis minor, trapezius, serratus anterior, levator, scapulae? The right answer here is B. Yeah, the pectoralis major does not come in contact with the pectoral girdle. So it does not connect the pectoral girdle to the trunk. 47. The nerve supply to the teres major is from the dash. A. Lower scapular nerve. B. Dorsal scapular nerve. C. Suprascapular nerve. D. Upper scapular nerve. E. Thoracodorsal nerve. What is the right answer? What is the right answer to this? So the nerve which supplies the teres major muscle, which is a posterior muscle, found very close to the infraspinatus, connecting the infraspinatus to the humerus. This muscle is innervated by the lower scapular nerve. So this is correct. So number 48. Which muscle does not arise from the common extensor origin? First thing, what is the common extensor origin? The common extensor origin is the lateral epicondyle. The what? The lateral epicondyle of the humerus. That is where most extensor muscles of the upper limb come from. That's what they're asking you. So A, they said the extensor carpal radialis brevis. B, the extensor digitorum. C, extensor digiti minimi. D, extensor carpi radialis longus. E, extensor carpi ulnaris. What is the answer? So the right answer here is the extensor carpi ulnaris. This muscle most likely originates from somewhere along the ulnar bone. Number 49, which muscle arises from both ulnar and the radius? A, pronator teres. B, flexor carpi radialis. C, flexor digitorum superficialis. D, flexor digitorum profundus. E, flexor pollicis longus. What is the answer? Let me just tell you some things. Whenever you say the word, okay, I'll tell you when we're done with these questions. I want to explain something to you. So do not leave this video. So in 49, the right answer here is C, the flexor digitorum superficialis. This muscle has two heads. It has the humeral head and the radial head. That's why it connects to the ulnar and the radius. So that's the answer. I know most people would have picked pronator teres because it connects the radius to the ulnar on the radius here. But now the question said arises from. So what they meant is arises from. So which muscle has its origin from both ulnar and radius? And the right answer is the flexor digitorum superficialis. The last question we have for tonight, for today, is the medial nerve goes through the heads of which muscle? A, the biceps brachii. B, the supinator. C, the pronator teres. D, the pronator quadratus. E, the flexor digitorum superficialis. The right answer to this question is, what is the answer? Try to get this question. So the right answer to this question is C, pronator teres. Yeah. So like I said, if I end the video, I want to explain some terms to you. So whenever you see the word quadratus, yeah, this term here that I'm highlighting here, quadratus, means that the muscle is four-sided. It has it's like a square. It has four sides. When you see the term detour means that it extends or it affects the digits. Now what are your digits? Your digits are your fingers, your 5 fingers, the thumb, the index, and the rest. When you see the term superficialis, it means that the muscle is how do I put it, is in a way subcutaneous. It is not deep. It's not deep in the body. It can easily be palpated from the external parts, traveling through your skin, here. So that's what it means. So another thing I want to teach you is this. When you see the term profundus means deep. So what this means for the term profundus means that the deep further the term profundus, while the other one for the term fascialis. So this one is superficial, while this one is deep. Yeah, why this one why this one is deep. So note the difference. So I believe so when you see the term minimi reflects to your pinky, your fifth finger. So this is where we'll come to the end of our video for today. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video because I'll be posting more videos very very soon. I wish you success in all your exams that are upcoming. If you have any comments, don't forget to hit the comment section and inform me. Like this video, share and subscribe, and invite all your friends. Have a nice day. Stay blessed. Thank you.